every time. I'm a guru who's enlightened about the way the world's corrupt, and my truths will set us all free.
Oh my god. And you could tell, like, when everything was made, too, because of their outfits. Like, I know one girl got one of her tops of Forever 21 because they saw it there once before.
But the other thing is, he's obviously picking his exes by who he thinks is cute.
Yeah.
And not by whether they can act.
No, not at all.
He does feature a fair number of like cute teenage girls in his movie.
Yeah.
But like Rachel said, it kind of makes you feel a little bit like this guy's a pattern.
Yeah, like on a level. There really is a level because they don't act.
Well, like, you know, in Fatal Findings, that teenage girl keeps coming over and skinny dipping in their pool.
Oh my god.
That's the storyline. He grabs her shoulder. You can't keep coming over here. You can't. You can't do it anymore. You can't. And they're like this close to each other's face.
God! She better have been paid well for that.
And she's just like this all the time.
She's like a body. She's just being like thrown around. It's so bad. Oh my gosh.
It seems like he's yelling that at himself. You can't hump this person. You can't.
That's exactly it. That's why, like, I'm like, oh my gosh, she thinks he's acting well. Like, none of them are acting well. Just being beautiful doesn't mean anything.
This motion is an acting motion. It means pow. All right.
Okay.
This one, pew pew.
Pew pew. Got that. I wasn't sure. I used to think that was pow pow.
No. Pow is fists. Pew is guns. Okay. Just now you know how to act.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I'm giving acting lessons today.
Oh, don't forget yes and.
Also, this one. The sound that this makes is a chew. It's a sneeze. If you want a fake sneezing, you have to say chew. Like that.
True, and like and how that's supposed to know.
Here's how to fake yawn. You have to make that sound to fake yawn.
Host Eric's School for Acting.
Mm-hmm. I can tell you all the different sounds you got to make for different things. Like, let's say you're trying to act like you're excited about a gift that a fellow female has given you. You have to go like this.
I knew.
Oh my god!
I knew he was gonna go with the clapping.
You have to do that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say you're playing an old lady character. You have to talk about doilies.
True. My grandma does love doilies. She wishes there were more at holiday events.
All old ladies love doilies. When you, in 30 years, you're going to start becoming very into doilies.
Do you think I'll make them?
Well, in 50 years, you'll be making them. You'll be a mass doily factory.
Oh my god, I'm going to be crocheting doilies.
You're going to be crocheting doilies in your old age, yeah.
Can I tell the live public that when I saw...
only one of them.
The live person, that when I saw the wedding NFJ video, I was like, no, don't be so accurate. Don't be so accurate.
Never satisfied, but also, but at the same time, very sad.
Don't I look like a princess?
I do look like a pretty princess.
Yeah. I'm not really sure about like the rules with marriage and women in society today, you know, and the importance of having your own career. But do I look pretty in this dress? Like totally. I was like knowing it. I just kept on saying no because it was so true. I see it up in hair. Yes.
Get it. Rock that jammy.
Rock wanna go. Where's the... Here?
That's right. We get they're right here. Here, there.
Cool. Double time.
So acting is an art, and I am an artiste. I can act like I'm sneezing. I can act like I'm yawning.
Yeah, there it is. It's a juicer.
Nice. My nose feels so much cleaner in the absence of that.
Right?
Of course, Rachel and I have been talking about the big gossip.
What is the big gossip?
Spacey story.
Oh.
And granted, remember we didn't bring this gossip up on the live stream earlier.
No, we didn't.
But Rachel was lamenting the fact that so-called polyamorism, which is such a ridiculous word. What it just means is non-monogamy.
Yes. Correct.
Trying to pretend as though it's some kind of relationship is ridiculous. Non-monogamy is sleeping around. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. You're either
it is.
in a relationship or you're sleeping around. Trying to pretend as though there's some middle ground is bad acting.
I was saying, yes!
Oh, this will turn out well. No, it won't. It's a terrible, terrible idea.
Oh, no.
Polyamory is like, it's like having two proctologists. One is plenty.
Yeah. Yes, I would agree with you on that. Who wants to have more than that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Even though Rachel and I have a great relationship and almost no conflict and a lot of peace and happiness.
Yeah, we do.
We still have our little moments. And being FE types, those moments might just involve us not really talking to each other for a minute or two. And then both of us are like, meh.
Yeah.
But it passes.
Over with. Yeah.
Passes quickly, you know.
I think I just got conditioned, you know, as a child. That's what I would do. I would just be like, this is so dumb. I don't need to be upset about this. Like, I'm gonna put some headphones on, and I felt better. And usually the topic that was of complaints usually gets forgotten. And
it was like in this instance, what happened is we were sitting out here.
Oh yeah,
I was watching this thing that I was laughing at, and Rachel was just hating it. It was like it's a similar sort of situation as when I used to live with an ESFJ, and I'd walk through the room and there'd be Real Housewives on, and I'd just be like, no, 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 no.
Oh my gosh.
So I empathize, okay? I totally empathize. So then she went outside to go do her own thing because I didn't feel like turning it off. I was enjoying watching it.
It is funny. It is funny.
Hey, Supwalk. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
My name's Eric.
I like your icon there. Is that cotton candy or bubble gum?
It looks like a bear cat of some sort.
Yeah.
Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I had a little bit too much of what's his name?
Right. So then she went Neil Breen.
Neil Breen.
So she went outside to listen to her music and do her own thing. Well, it wasn't that much longer that I had enough of Neil Breen. And then I walked outside and I saw her and I'm like, hey, can you come here for a second? But she had just gotten settled down doing her thing and she was annoyed by that. Understandably. Especially since the reason she had gotten settled down doing her thing was because I wasn't listening when she's like, this is super annoying.
I thought I was in trouble. I was like, oh my God, he's going to break up with me now. Just your tone of voice. It was just your tone. It was just like that, you know, because you like signaled like.
Can you come here for a second?
Yeah, and I was like, what did I do wrong? Like it was like going to the principal's office.
No, I just was like, I'm hungry. We need to talk. We haven't really discussed the day at all yet. I haven't seen you all day. I've been sleeping all day. I want a hug. You know, like that kind of stuff.
Hey, sup?
Dude, girls do what all the time? Girls do what all the time? They get fussy occasionally? I get fussy. The thing is, I was hungry. I was super hungry. And I get
hungry too.
I get in a dark.
I was hungry too.
I get in a dark mood when I'm hungry. I need food badly, or else I try. And I always mistake, you know, me being hungry for. I I knew everything in life was shitty after all.
I get like that too, though.
And then
I don't
eat
get enough
every-
sleep, that's how I get.
Yeah, you get slonkers, I get hangry.
Yeah.
I get hung-pressed.
Aww. I like to say hello to my community friends on TWFP.
Acting is an art. Yes.
Yes. I think it is an art.
And her artistic sensibilities were offended by Neil Breen's terrible
It was
acting.
too much for me. It is very funny. Like, if we had a day where we were just really, really high and like watched one of his movies, I definitely would, like 100%, because that can't be is enough. But just in that moment,
Might have to
clip
take
after
mushrooms
clip
for
after
that.
clip after clip, I was like, this guy thinks he really is good. Like, oh my god, it's embarrassing.
Well, the thing is, I like the scene where the drunk guy knocks over everything at the barbecue.
That was hysterical.
It's like, go like this and knock everything over with your hand.
You like the way that I impersonated him running too.
Yeah. Do EHPs just like smoking weed by nature? Well, I mean,
yes.
yeah, I would say in general, yeah, it seems that way. I'm sure there are plenty of EHPs out there that don't smoke weed. I'm not among them. What age did we guys discover MBTI? I discovered MBTI types in my early 30s. Actually, which is pretty late. But it was still quite a revelation just to read the type descriptions and go, oh, I'm ENTP, that's what's wrong with me. But I didn't discover cognitive functions until about 10 years later. And that's when I got into typology, was when I discovered cognitive functions. It is the case that when I first learned about just the types and the type descriptions, I still thought, oh, that's really interesting and cool. But there wasn't really anything else to think about it besides that once you got the basic concept.
Yeah.
If you didn't know anything about cognitive functions, which I didn't at the time.
Do you wish that with the Enneagram that there was another level to it, but besides, well, I mean, it does have tri-types, but do you wish that had more of like a cognitive function sort of outline?
No. I like the fact that it fills in the mechanical part with the non-mechanical part. So it kind of completes the picture
I do too.
by being non-mechanical.
I agree with you. I do. I like it a lot. It really explains my 7 shit. 7 shit. That's definitely, that should be a shirt.
I will say this. Narana's descriptions of Enneagram types can be spookily accurate.
Like Curve Surfer?
Well, no, Narana's description of type 7 is as good a type description of me as anything I've ever read, and it's not a type description of my personality type. So that's interesting to note that, Narana really nails. If you want one person to put your faith in an Enneagram, put it in Narana.
Yeah, I would agree with you. He gets it right, and it's deep. And honestly, you might not want to read some of it because it gets like in your face.
But he's smart thinker about what is basically a non-mechanical system.
Mm-hmm.
Proving that it is possible to be a smart thinker about non-mechanical systems, but nevertheless, he's not going to win any debates about substantiating his claims. They're observationally very insightful and correct, but they're not substantiated by mechanical justifications. That's fine. It shouldn't be trying to do that, so that's fine.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Right.
Tiny Man 6'6" hi.
I'm only 24 and I just discovered it. I think I was in high school when I first learned about MBTI. So I think I was about 16, maybe 17. But I didn't rediscover it again until I was in college. So, and then I really dove into it and got confused when I went on Simple Minds. Do you know that site? Simple Minds has an MBTI test, and I always tested ENFP. And this was back in 2011. So I was probably about 24, 25 too.
I'm curious about this Jason Blood. Can you tell me what happened? You were trying to buy a pro plan for personal use, and it accidentally ended up behind enemy lines.
Huh.
Their whereby channel is still up and running? I don't doubt that it is.
Yeah.
Not a channel, though. It's a room. You know, they've got their group of people they hang out with. The thing is, of course, there's rifts in the Spite Monkey unified front because you know, Spite Monkeys have lost Tori in the sense that she decided to cash in her claim to correctness in hopes that I would mediate a conversation or something.
You know, and you were happy to help too.
I did say, you know, I need Spacey to ask me because it takes two to tango for one thing.
Needs to be from Spacey.
Yeah.
Hey George. And my dad is an ENFP too, Suckwalk.
Such an ENFP.
Yeah, isn't he?
Yeah. Boy, his eyes well up with tears at a moment's notice, don't they?
Yeah. Like when I told my dad that all my it is very sweet. Like when I told my dad that all my bills were paid for, like all my hospital bills, he was just like, I'm so happy to hear that.
Supwalk says, what you say there could also be true of an INTP, not necessarily just an ENTP. I don't know. Maybe you know for sure, or maybe you don't. I'm just saying. I'm trying to figure out my function stack. I was typed as ENFJ by Discord, but I'm not quite sure if I agree. Well, that's a terrible way to get typed. Well, Paris, your function stack, you know, what can I tell you? What makes so what if you disagreed with being typed as an ENFJ? What aspects of that don't resonate with you? Right, Oliver Linehan has nailed it correctly. Can you walk us? Can you do this? This morning, or for me, it would be like this afternoon. I got up, I came out here. I was still like half asleep. Both times I got up during my sleep today, my dad caught me as I'm walking out of the room. And so I had this extended conversation with him that I didn't want to have right at that moment because I'm slow to wake up. But anyway, the second time I went to the garage, I got a soda. My dad talked to me about whether I was grumpy or something. And I said I just woke up, and then I came out here. I put on this. I started live streaming. Then we started talking about Neil Breen. And I said to stop live streaming so I could watch Neil Breen. And then Rachel got annoyed by me watching it, and she went outside. Then I got annoyed by it too. Then I went outside, and I went inside the room, and I was thinking I want to have some F5 time, and maybe Rachel wants to make some sweet love. But then she came in and she seemed irritated at me, so I was like, okay, it's not. Can you do that? Can you do that stuff that I just did?
Yeah, Paris.
Relate a series of events of your day like that.
That's good memory.
Another example would be,
his SI is better than mine.
For a normal person, a normal example would be something like I got up, I brushed my teeth, I had cereal. At this time I had Fruit Loops, not Cocoa Puffs. And I put the milk back in the fridge, but then I dropped my spoon and then I had to pick it up. And like little insignificant details like that. I don't think you want to use their recording option, Jason, but it isn't recording a useful format.
There's something about...
This is the Intuitard Convention.
Yes, it is.
Welcome, ESTP. Welcome, Overlord of Kickassery.
Yay, ESTP here. Cool. I often feel lost in social situations, and I definitely can't do that unless something was particularly special. I'll try though.
Hey, ESP, I just wanted to make sure you know that we know that really you run shit around here. Yeah, I get it.
Please don't try to run my shit.
Oh, they will. But just randomly, haphazardly, not as a general rule.
And it's gonna fly by me anyway.
Do you have a way to really distinguish types? Yes, I really do. At least some of them. I can't look. So, for example, if Paris is an ENFJ, Paris will not be able to answer that question. Now, that's a real test, right? I'm giving you real ENFJs and ENTJs cannot do the thing I just did about a series of insignificant events from when you wake up till 2 hours later. Okay? So this is true. I've typed so many people, and it's absolutely the case that ENTJs, ENFJs cannot do this. Okay? They can't do it. It would seem to be a cognitive black hole within them. We all have an equivalent black hole. Only a couple of them are so easily testable. TI is the other one that's really easily testable. So I could tell pretty quickly, Subwalk, whether you're dominant or second thought TI just by asking some deductive reasoning problems. Because that's the only cognitive function that really clearly correlates with a specific kind of academic test that you can give that represents actual TI versus not. Now, note, I could tell whether you're TI with SE or TI with NE based on if you're an SE TI user, the chances are you'll have more difficulty with the genealogy problems because they require more SI memory, but have no problem with the conditional logic problems. So that's one way that I can distinguish between these things. They all make sense definitionally. So I woke up, I went downstairs to eat breakfast, and I think I had a smoothie, and I talked to my family, but I don't really have a recollection of what we talked about. But I do know that the city is filled with French people.
And lawnmower. What's up, you peeps?
Hi, peoples. Hi, Edward J. Peoples. ASTP here. I don't drink alcohol. I used to be drunk, but I don't.
Same here.
Your cousin's having sex with your brother, Paris? Oh, I'm sorry. I misinterpreted that. They weren't in bed together. They were just still in bed. Right. Gotcha.
Wow, it is chill out.
Everything good in my life happened since I quit drinking alcohol. ESTP here. But fear not. I have an alternative. I have an alternative.
That's what I do. I am a stoner. I do not drink either.
Rachel and
I don't drink either.
I want to tell you something else, ESTP here. We actually drink a lot of beer.
Yeah, we would.
We do.
We
drink a lot of non-alcoholic beer.
And if
we drink a shit ton of it.
A shit ton.
Like if we get a 6-pack, it is gone that night.
Because we like the taste of it.
The
I
beer is
literally have been
delicious.
saying that since I had my first real beer.
I mean, here's the thing.
Cold.
We'd have to multiply, retest and retest this SI on this person, Paris, to know definitively if it's polar or not. Just simply asking that question and seeing what the answer is like this, and especially in the chat rather than face-to-face, it's not going to be definitive.
That's what I had a problem with, actually, with the ESTP that I knew in my life. I always liked weed first. He liked beer first. It didn't work. Here's
my basic problem, ESTP, with alcohol as well, is that when I drink alcohol, then that's what I'm doing. I really can't do anything else productive while drinking alcohol. Now, when I'm smoking marijuana, it's something I'm doing in addition to other things.
True.
And if I get really caught up in things, then I'll forget to pull bowls for a long time.
Like this.
Yeah, well, I mean, this I'm pretty good at remembering when I'm live streaming.
True.
There's
you don't like German beers?
There's a Belgian non-alcoholic beer called Buckler. It's quite good.
That is good.
But both Rachel and I think prefer most of all the German ones, the Bitburger, the Klaus Holler, and the Klaus Holler Dry Hops. Those are very good non-alcoholic beers.
Yes.
So So you can discern with the test whether it's dominant or tool. You only use it to test TI polar. I mean, it's only definitive if I'm using it to test polar. So in other words, it's technically a test for polar. And you either test positive or negative for polar. Now, it is also true that it provides information to me that I can use in conjunction with other information to make determinations about a person's type and what slot it might be in. Yeah. That's true, and so I can use that. But in that sense, it's interpretive and subjective by me. It's not a definitive binary test. There are two definitive binary tests that I have for type, and that's TI polar and SI polar. And the thing is, I can't do it really with you in live chat. I have to be talking to you. I'm sure you do, ESFP. I'm sure you do. You and the ESFP can SE each other to death.
Oh, that's a lot of bones against skin and that's a lot of, oh my God, that's a body things.
Sweat and juices and noises.
Grunting.
I've been approaching about how they seem to answer Socratic questioning and seeing where their semantics fall apart and applying it to their functional.
I bet you the ESFP will be drunk.
Well, that's a good way to go, Subwalk. It is true that you're going to find argumentation styles and manners of substantiation linked to functions. But what you'll see is that as far as how they seem to approach Socratic questioning, that's not just a TI thing. That's also an NE thing. As I'm discovering teaching this ISTP right now. She's very smart, but she doesn't learn well by Socratic teachings at all. I have to just tell her the thing, repeat it. It's very straightforward. It's kind of boring teaching.
Can I say something regarding what Jason Blood says about the greatest lie to mankind is porn? I saw this porn once, actually, and I think it was a mistake. They put it up on an accident, and it was a take. It was an in-between shot of them getting set up, and the director saying cut and start, and it'll be start it, and the way the actors were just right away, totally took me out of it. I was like, oh my God. I was like, people believe this. I did. Oh my God.
Here's the thing. There's FI, SI sex, which I think is mostly healthy. And then there's FE, SE sex, which
it's fun too.
It can be fine. But the thing is, FE and SE sex is fine within the context of FI and SI safe.
Yes.
Which is to say, familiar and emotionally consistent and on your team,
I agree.
And so I think it's unfortunate the way that, people have all kinds of different opinions about sex. It's something people have a lot of opinions about.
Your LOL may prove you're an ENFJ.
Another correct question. So I've heard you say your dad's NI-polar run wild and make conclusion that don't make sense. You also said people with high NI can do the same. How do you discern the two? Well, my dad is obsessed about things that might happen that are that aren't based in reality, basically. So my dad is very, very concerned about the nursing home kicking my mom out. Because at the beginning of this whole thing, there was the typical sort of round of paperwork and agreements you sign. Now, if the patient is violent, blah, 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 we have the right to terminate the relationship and kick the patient out and stuff like that. Normal shit that they say. But the only reason anybody is concerned about my mom's behavior at all is because my dad is constantly calling them and asking them about her behavior.
Oh, no. Oh, so they don't tell her? They don't tell him? I thought they were calling him.
No, look, it has happened on occasion. They have called and they report things.
Yes.
We get constant reports of her somehow having a bruise, somehow hurting her ankle.
Yeah.
We get a report she bit a staff member today. We get a report she slapped at someone. My dad thinks that she's at risk for being kicked out of this nursing home. What he doesn't understand is, to the extent that that's possibly the case, it is due to the fact that once he heard about this, he's like a rabid dog on the thing. And every time he talks to somebody, now how's her behavior? Now, and he's trying to like make a case, basically, like do a paper trail to prevent them from kicking her out, which makes no sense at all.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Sky Gear.
Hi, Sky Gear, Lord of the Promiscuous Any Tool. You got to do shit to actually get tired. Well, I mean, the point is, I have this, it's like, the other thing about antipolar is it goes back and forth all the time. Strong NI does not do that. So it's like, it's true that strong NI may have a overwhelming sense that there's some singular explanation for something when there's not. But my dad doesn't have that. He goes back and forth. It was just like a few days ago. He said, all right, I'm starting to feel pretty confident that they're not going to kick her out. It was just a couple of days ago. And then today,
I knew today was a bad day.
Well, the thing is, it's like he calls him, did you get the trouser down? I got it. He's constantly checking all of his transactions and everything. So, okay, if the pharmacy auto charges him for a trazodone thing, he's on top of it 5 minutes later. Like, calling the place saying, did you get the trazodone?
Oh my God.
Somebody at the place, of course, made the mistake of bullshitting him and just said, oh yeah, we got it. And then it got delivered here to our house.
You can't bullshit an ESTJ.
And then, it's like...
Only an ENTP can.
I can't either. I can't bullshit them. I can't bullshit my dad. My dad sees right through all of my shit. Maybe that's probably why I'm so honest, Mm-hmm. I have never been able to lie to my dad. I always get caught.
I do too. I was never able to lie to my mom. Well, no, that's not true.
I really have never been able to lie to anybody, though, so that's not really necessarily the ESTJ thing. I'm just a bad liar.
I'm a bad liar, too.
ESTP says, I don't cheat on workouts, only my girl.
Oh my gosh. Wow. It's true. It's true.
Ay.
Is right.
What do an ENFP, ENFP, and INFJ do when they get together?
Nothing.
Kick out the ENFP?
They would though. the INFJ and the ENTP would just get closer and closer together and start talking about like weirder stuff and leave no feelings in it. Like not talk about feelings.
No, we've all three be having a perfectly good conversation.
Yeah.
Then the ENTP and the INFJ would give it a little flick of the eyes to each other. And then they both independently know to extricate themselves from the situation in a way that leaves the ENFP unsure what happened. But the ENFP would probably feel bad anyways, would trust his feelings even though there were no evidence that we had done anything.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh my God!
No.
It's Levi Samuels!
It's you, Levi Samuels! Yay!
You make me clap like this!
I thought it was King Krishna Son of Pagoo for a second, but Levi Samuels is just as good.
Mm-hmm.
And James, what's going on?
Oliver Linehand's always been able to lie to people. I lie to people. The biggest lie that everyone in my life just told is that I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. I'm fucking around. Okay? That's what I'm doing.
I love you so much.
Maybe I should be doing something else, but at least I know what I'm doing.
I love you. Can I kiss you? The smell of the onions reminds me of when I used to work at a Mexican restaurant. It's really like SI.
Funny you should say it. The smell of the limes was reminding me of margaritas. You know, I've spent plenty of years drinking margaritas, so.
Oh,
See. Sure, amongst other things. Amongst lots of other things.
I like that you're a margarita man. I liked it myself. Would you have it with
Rocks not blended, yes,
Yes!
around the rim. And
Fuck
wine.
yes!
That's
Fuck
the way you
yes!
do it. That's the way you do it.
Yes! You and me, babe. You and me.
Are not drinking any margaritas.
Nope, but we are very similar.
I gotta get another Coke.
Okay. We are very similar in so many ways, and so different in so many as well. It's a good balance. Yes, I did. My favorite things were the enchiladas suizas. They used to make fun of me. Hi, Levi. I'm good. We just got tacos from this like really well-known taco truck. It's like, you know, real Mexican tacos, and they were delicious. I'm glad we went. Oh, and we have the P&P joining us. How lucky for us. Oh, what a cute and regal and majestic. I always go to cute, but you are, because you're the kitty pageant winner. Yes, and kitties are cute. Oh my goodness. Let me see if I can get you on. Oh, there you are. Oh, regal, majestic friend. Very important kitty friend. She always, whenever I go out for a smoke, like smoking my pipe, PP joins me. She joins me for my weed smoking adventures to make sure that I'm not alone. She's so nice. Yes, you are. You're such a good kitty friend. Such an important kitty friend. Yes, you are. Mommy loves you. Oh, head push. Thank you. I love you too, Pee-Pee. Yes, I do. Head push. Thank you. Thank you for the head push. I love you, Pee-Pee, too. You're the ma. Yes, you are. What do you see? Do you see trouble, huh? Do you see trouble? Do you see trouble? Well, he's like coming in here. Oh. Hey. I do have a hot sister. She's recently separated. So, separated I would be careful with, you know. No way am I giving you her email. She's separated. She's not like single. I mean, I'll ask about you. I'll tell her that an ESTP was interested in her. She's an ESFJ. And if she's interested, I'll give you her info if you show up in a chat again. You could have him, Tiny Man 66. ESTPs. I only dated one ESTP in my life, and it was not healthy. And also, I'm dating Eric. Don't you remember? I do. Tell her ISFJ may be interested also. Okay, I will, Levi. I definitely will. She's cute. She's 2 years younger than me, so she's gonna be 32, right? Yeah, she's gonna be 32. Her name is Katie. She goes by Kat. She does look like me, but she has a smaller nose. So I'll mention her if she is, she's only separated though. They haven't officially divorced. So, I'll talk to her to see if she's comfortable. If not, it's up to her. How old are you, Levi, if you don't mind my asking? Look at this. How regal and majestic and ISFP you are. You are. You know English so well. And you have such a good daddy. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, was it something from the taco stand? I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. Just do something from this taco. Oh, you're 20? So that would make you 12 years apart or something? How old are you, ESTP here? Oh, the poo-poo. Oh, the poo-poo. We have an ISFP cat. She's so loving. She loves her pets. Yes. And if I'm lucky, I pet push. And if I'm lucky, I get little nibbles and bites. Little pee-pee. She's playing coy now. She's afraid because I had Mexican food on my hand and she didn't like it. Mm-hmm. Oh, the mother. Oh, the mother. Yes. Yes, it's you. Here. Yes. Yes, the kitty love. Very lucky to have Pee-Pee in my life. Look at this kitty pageant winner. I mean, are you... Are you really a pimp? And you get paid for that? Has Eric covered age before as a concept? As a concept, I don't know. We have discussed generations, though. He's Generation X. He was born 1971. He is not a baby boomer. He is now 49, I believe. And so as a concept, I'm not sure. I'm 35. I'm a early millennial. Lawnmower. Possibly. I mean, I can't help it. I want to be an ISFP when I see Phoebe. Oh my goodness. She's the kitty wonder of them all. She turns my FI on and I turn into a mushy moisture cheese stick. Yes, I do. I do for a little Capillo. Kitty pageant wonder queen. Okay, ESTP. It's a little too graphic for my taste. All right, Levi, I will. I'll definitely hit my sister up. I'll let her know. Okay. I hope you have a good night. Why do you feel like you're wasting your life, Subwalk? That's good to know, James. Do you guys like my shelf? I have pictures of planets on it. And INFJ where? Sky Gear? A lot of people think that they're INFJs, but they're not. I never thought I was an INFJ. I only heard about INFJs. I thought I was an ENFP. And then I was typed as ENFJ by Eric. And then we lived together and he realized like my SI is better than ENFJs. And now I've been correctly typed as an INFJ and life makes a lot more sense now. What, Oliver, what do you mean about your FE tool and FI6? What about it? You know, which Venice? Venice Beach? Lawnmower? You're voting Trump? That's fine. Whatever you want to do, Ethan. I don't even think I'm voting this year. First year not voting. I've always voted. Oliver, that is very common in INFJs. They don't like to, like, I would say most commonly, they don't like to be vulnerable with people because it's like if we open ourselves up to people to see who we really are, it's a little bit of being afraid of being judged or like feeling like an outcast and not being understood. I had a point in my life where I would go to AA meetings and they forced you to kind of like open up. And I practiced a lot of raising my hand. Actually, and in classes too. I would take classes at community college and it forced me to like raise my hand and ask more questions. And yeah, you know, it's like that stuff. My hair's so flat. Blues jazz. I don't even know. Your ISFJ, it's similar. It's similar. I think it's even more vulnerable for ISFJ. Because ISFJ is so other person focused. You know, they really, especially with younger types. Like ISFJ women with babies, it's just like, and kids, it's just like magic. And men too. With their families, like home and hearth and you know, all that warm goodness ISFJs have, but you know, ISFJs expressing negative thoughts and opinions, it's not the easiest because opening up, you know, when you open yourself up as an ISFJ, people may be stunned that you even have any opinion on anything at all because usually you go along with most of what everyone else likes. So when an ISFJ speaks up, a lot of people listen, but they don't like it. You know, it's difficult. It's difficult opening up, especially when you're a private person, just in general. You're fine, Levi. Thanks, Lamour. ISFJs have great advice, you know. I had an ISFJ tell me about their regret of their relationship once. I think it was because she wanted to put me off her sister. I think she was jealous, possibly. Blues do only go so far, dudes. But you can't. But see, for ISFJs and INFJs, being vulnerable in those negative emotions is very important to express because we're more go with the flow kind of types. I think maybe INFJ a little bit less than ISFJs, but it's important for ISFJs to have a voice in whatever relationship they're in, I believe.
I have a very interesting story to tell from the world we're up to. You know how my dad.
I just finished.
You know how my dad always tells me interesting stories about World War II and stuff, right? From the books that he's reading. Well, you know, as you probably, or you might possibly know, people of the world, the Geneva Convention after World War I banned use of mustard gas.
Oh, but my dad did tell me that.
So, if you aren't familiar with mustard gas is this horrible chemical weapon that messes up people's lungs, eyes, can be deadly, isn't necessarily. Causes blistering on the skin and all kinds of stuff like that. Anyway, so after World War I, pretty much no army ever used mustard gas again. To this day, more or less, okay? But in World War II, the United States was afraid that the Germans might start using mustard gas.
Uh-huh.
So the United States had a shipload of mustard gas in the area, a stockpile of it, to use as a retaliation in case the Germans launched mustard gas first. So it was parked at this dock in the boot part of Italy, like the heel part. I think it was maybe near Palermo.
That's an island. Yeah.
Is that near that boot part?
Yep.
Okay, so here comes my dad right now. So anyway, the ship was called the USS. Come on in, Dad. Come in. Go on in.
I just want to show you.
Oh yeah, I'm telling you the story right now. Actually, cool. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, this ship was called the USS John Harvey, and it was filled with mustard gas. And the Luftwaffe made an attack on all the Allied ships at this port in Italy, trying to retake the port for Germany. And they hit that ship with the mustard gas on it. And there were all of course, there's a bunch of casualties coming into the medical hospitals there outside of Palermo or whatever city they were in.
Palermo, yeah.
Okay, and most of the casualties coming in with normal things, shrapnel, bullets, fire, because there was planes shooting and attacking the port city. Right?
Wow.
So there weren't actually a lot of casualties. But then the doctor was like, what is this coming in? And then all of a sudden they get these people in with these blisters on their skin, lung respiratory problems, blindness, and then the doctor didn't know what it was because, of course, nobody had used mustard gas since World War I. And so the doctors handled the people. The problem is mustard gas is not just a vapor. It sticks to you. And so then the doctors started getting the same thing on their skin. Their skin was starting to blacken and blister.
So it killed a bunch of people in Italy?
Yeah, there was apparently approximately 1,000 casualties from mustard gas in World War II, but they were hushed over. That the government said either for the ones that they had to deal with on the blisters on the skin, they called it dermatitis, and for the ones who died, they just said killed in action. And just left it at that, burned or killed in action or something, killed in action by fire or whatever. To hide the fact that the U.S. didn't use mustard gas, but the U.S. was responsible for mustard gas killing 1,000 people. I think the majority of the casualties were probably from the ship itself. Like, it may not have sunk the ship, but it probably killed all the sailors.
All of them.
Yeah, because they were right there next to it, but. And when my dad started telling me the story, I was like, so did the mustard gas go into the city or what? I didn't get an answer from them about that exactly as to where the mustard gas went, just that the Army covered up that there were about 1,000 mustard gas casualties.
Wow.
So interesting story, huh?
Oh my gosh. It just makes you to show like so much could be covered up. We don't know ish.
Well, the thing about it is, of course, it is true though ultimately that no army intentionally ever did end up using mustard gas, which is a funny thing also, right?
Yes.
This is a very old story. It's from World War II. But my dad reads all these books about World War II. He finds all these little interesting nuggets and he shares them with me.
It's cool.
And usually he'll be like, I know I'm boring you. Actually, no, you're not. You actually have
that's how
really
I feel
interesting
too.
stories to tell.
I'm always interested by his stories.
Yeah, it's like I went in there expecting to be bored as I was by our casual conversation. But once he started talking about the book he was reading, it was very interesting.
Yeah.
He's a great lecturer on military history.
Yes, very, very much so. I like the 1942 book too about the rowing team. It was like this U.S. team, 1942 Olympics, and they
Look at that young ENTP. Oh, Supwalk, you just don't get it.
He said that he's an INTP.
Okay, well, whatever kind of TP he is, if you think emotions have no value beyond human ethics, let me show you something.
I showed them her before. Oh my goodness, right?
How can you think emotions?
I showed right. I told them about how they make me like a moist stick of cheese.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh, look at his face.
I love my kitty meow meow.
I love kitty meow meow pants too.
Mm.
Oh, did he
Thank
give
you for letting me
kisses?
kiss you.
Oh my goodness!
You didn't even flinch.
Oh, that is so nice.
And this one here too.
Oh, I love you.
How can you countervalue emotions?
Aww.
Do you feel the love? Oh, it's okay, people. Mommy's just feeling love.
I am so much.
Your majestic waves of green.
So soft.
And your purple mountain waves of green.
Purple mountain waves of green. You lay on top of there so regally.
It doesn't seem genuine. My love for my cat is so genuine.
It is so genuine.
And same for my love for Rachel.
It is.
But you might say my love for Rachel is somehow not genuine. You could argue that it's like beneficial to me, it's a personal interest thing. You cannot possibly argue that about my cat.
No,
My cat is in no way, shape, or form serve my personal interest.
No, and no,
I
she
just
doesn't.
love her a lot.
Yeah, she actually.
And when she gets hurt, I get all like, ah. The thing you got to remember, young ENTP, is it is the case that when you see that which you love suffer, it hurts you and you're hurt. It's just you're not accustomed to seeing it exactly. You're not looking for it, per se. You know, you got to feel some emotional pain in life. Like when my dog died, to really start to help value things.
Oh, that must have been a heartbreaker.
Couldn't I just be feeding my need for external information? To even say that one has a need is to imply emotions. It means that there are things one wants more than other things. There's not a thing to build your morals around. No. Subwalk. FI feelings are not linked very strongly to morals at all. You can have very strong feelings of, I got you. I'm enjoying watching you suffer. That can be a very powerful FI feeling.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not correlate with morality at all. TI correlates with morality, logic. In a healthy person, FI correlates with decency. Like, you know, healthy people feel appalled when they see awfulness, see torture or something, right? And healthy people find it FI inconsistent with, no, but let me finish, CJ. FI people find it inconsistent with their feelings to see wickedness, you know?
Right.
Generally speaking, healthy FI people abhor wickedness too, because healthy FI people have their feelings linked with decent things.
Yes, they do.
But that doesn't change the fact that when FI people feel strongly about something, it doesn't matter how wrong they are, they're going to try to impose that, and that may end up manifesting as wickedness. You know, the logicians are the ones who can articulate specifically what things we can establish definitively as morally obligatory or morally permissible or morally impermissible. And you might say, well, those are just conditional statuses or something. But that's what comprises morality ultimately. I mean, ultimately, behavior is moral or immoral. Things that aren't behavior aren't. So keep that in mind. And even behaviors, only some of them comprise actual moral choices. Very rarely do any of us have a substantial moral choice in this life. Something like being on a jury and deciding what's the most just outcome. That's a moral choice. And we don't usually have those kind of significant choices. Whether or not to take that bribe or to stand firm by your principle, it's a moral choice. Whether or not to take that temptation to sleep with that woman or something, that's a moral choice.
True. One of my dad, as an ENFP, one of his proudest moments was at the last when Seattle played against, I don't know, maybe the Broncos at Giant Stadium in the city, my dad and my mom did security. And my dad had to reject a player. I don't remember who the player was, but the player was like, come on, me, I'm the player. Like, I just need to go right there. And my dad was like, nope. So he felt really good about that because his moral teachings in being a security guard, he was taught that no one passes, doesn't matter who. And he ended up getting an award because he was one of the best security guards they had that night.
Well, that's good.
Yes.
This is the thing, James. No, not everything has a moral component to it.
No.
There are plenty of things that don't. Now, there are some things that have a clear moral component, which is to say, if you do that, you will engage in wickedness. That's called that which has a negative moral component, an obligation to not do certain things, okay? That's universalist and always underlying our choice making, but most of the time we're never considering engaging in some sort of rights violation. We're not going around going like, ooh, do I want to punch that guy in the face right now, randomly, or no?
I know.
So
it's healthy.
Generally, most of the time, we don't have a lot of choices that have direct negative moral components to them. Most of the time, we're not faced with a lot of circumstances with direct positive moral components to them. And what happens is FI users tend to overextend what ought to be considered a positive moral indication. So, for example, if a homeless person asks me for money, I have a moral choice to make there. However, it is not the same sort of thing whether I want to shop at Whole Foods or some other store, right? If some NFP tells me I got some sort of obligation to eat organic and shop at these stores and not those stores and stuff like that, they're not understanding what morality is at all. That's trying to impose a positive moral obligation as a universal. Positive moral obligations are always particular. And the problem with FI is it doesn't really make the distinction between the two as per James's analysis there. Right. And that's a TE-FI thing, whether it's TE first or not, it plays out the same way because they're utilitarian in nature. And I guess that's why they call it an explanation. I just explained everything right now. My explaining bone.
Oh.
You know where my explaining bone is?
Where?
Between my nose and my chin.
Oh, your mouth.
Mm-hmm. James says words. Right. Correct words. Many words, correct words.
Oh, look at this family. Oh my gosh.
I'm Papa Bear, Mama Bear, and Baby Bear.
Oh, uh-huh.
Or is Pee-Pee Goldilocks?
I think she might be.
Maybe we're Papa Bear, Mama Bear, but we didn't have Baby Bear. Goldilocks came and we adopted her.
And she chose us. We're the perfect couple for her.
When she came into our cabin, she said, oh my God, this bowl of porridge is just the right temperature.
I think so.
And this chair is just the right degree of softness.
Yep.
And this
she's
bed
so
as well.
over us. She's so over us.
Okay, you guys.
Yeah,
That's enough of your bullshit, Effie.
God. You all know how much I love you guys. Jeez. Can I just sleep?
Annie needs to pretend it's the puppy. Based and Effie pilled.
All right, I haven't taken a bong rip yet.
I'm so sorry, my darling.
No. I don't mean to
what
be.
A terrible
I don't
tragedy
mean to turn
indeed.
into a 999. That would be me drunk. Honestly, I did used to. I bent a ring because I was like, no.
I'm glad I don't have drunk Rachel.
Oh, me too. I never liked drinking. Let's be real.
Okay, so what day did we got this on Wednesday last week, right? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But sure, I've had lots of INTP friends.
Hey, Jerry like the mouse. What's up?
The people I visited 2 INTPs. I visited Horsemonger, I visited Hambone.
Yeah.
With my visiting card. That was pretty visity of me.
Yeah, very visity. Oh.
And thereby very
Thank you.
friendly as well. Oh, you need this part.
Yes, please.
That part's kind of important.
Where's the lighter?
I'm going to get it for you right now, my darling. My precious lighter-needing woman.
Oh, thanks, baby.
My damsel in lighter distress.
It's true. I've been keeping them over there. Cool. Thank you.
I'm a new viewer, dude. Oh, yeah? New viewer, huh?
Oh, curious.
We don't like your type around here, mister. New viewers.
I like curious cars.
What did she say?
Emojis. That's me.
A mouse in a balloon?
Yeah. I don't know if it's me, but I'm making it me.
Well, Subwalk, let me tell you, I am full of tips for ENTPs.
Yes.
Chock full.
Chock full.
Don't eat that. Do eat that.
He wants to enlist.
Sing that song. Don't sing that song.
Yes.
Oh, great. Thanks for the demonstrative TE there, Subwalk. Love it. Love it. Love it. At least it's conditional. I appreciate the inclusion of if.
That's funny. That's funny. If you want to make.
I mean, the thing is, I do want to make money, but I also want to play all the time. Do you understand, Subwalk? Do you understand that sometimes playing all the time and making money can be harder to combine than it seems? I like to play around all the time because I'm playful Polly, and that's my plan. Okay, Subwalk, so you get it then. Sometimes you just got to be like, what up, girl? What up, girl? It's how you think I'm a girl.
That's how
Okay?
Neil Green runs.
Right. Okay. No.
No, I'm gonna show the jostling. I'll do the jostling.
Okay, here. I'll be the girl.
Yeah.
I'll be the girl with dead face like this.
No! No! I can't look you in the eye doing it. He looks at her in the eye the whole time. Like, basically, he's
like
doing
forehead. You cannot keep coming over here.
You are naked and in front of me, and I cannot have you.
You cannot keep throwing yourself at me. Tell me what it's like to be 48. It's exactly, well, I tell you what it is. For me, it's freedom and liberation from a lifetime of not being 48. I'm 49, actually.
Oh, thank you.
I'm 49. I just turned 49 in April. But anyway,
Yes, I did say.
It's for an ENTP, it's like almost like being an adult finally. Almost, but not quite. The thing is, I used to be more of an adult too. There was a time period when I worked a lot. I had, I had a job with a title and a lot of prestige and stuff like that. And I did that for quite a while. And this is so much better. I love this so much better. You've always been an adult? Well, you and I walk on different paths. Walk on different paths. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was a ripper.
Good rip, baby.
Thanks, baby. I've been getting better.
I want you to practice your catchphrase to other people. You're going to start saying to other people now, your little lungs is too small to hotbox with God. Peace out.
My little lungs too.
No, you say it to them, their little lungs.
Your little lungs too
small
to smoke with.
To hotbox with.
To hotbox with God.
Yeah,
Jesus.
It's a rap quote.
Oh.
It's from that exhibit, maybe?
What is it again?
Your little lungs is too small to hotbox with God.
Your little lungs is too small to hotbox with God.
My comeback is, nah, bro. Nah, dog. Nah, Holmes. God's little lungs are too small to hotbox with me, motherfucker.
Oh! It's probably
Burn!
true. It is true. He's got iron lungs.
God is not offended by my joke about it. God knows he can pull bigger
It was
bombers than me.
exhibit.
Okay. God already knows. What makes me an adult? Well, let's talk about what it means when you grow hair where you used to not have hair and your voice changes. Sometimes something special will come out of a special part of you at night when you're sleeping. That means for the first time you've had unconscious sex and you're a man now. Yeah, God knows it. He's not taking me seriously. My little lungs can't hotbox with God.
No. He would hot
God's
box.
got massive lungs.
He lives in a hot box. Are you
God's
kidding?
bone is like 10 times bigger than
He's basically made out of it.
You think he's made out of weed?
Weed smoke. He's always in a cloud, right? He's always in a cloud.
Okay, well, all I'm just saying is...
I think it's weed cloud.
Rachel, listen. I've had a vision of God's bone, and it's at least 10 times bigger.
You know it is.
At least 10 times bigger.
That's what she said.
Peterson isn't cool enough. Peterson isn't cool enough to hold my cheesecake, mister.
Oh!
She's using a little SE to get the NE. See how, now you know how the NE works, you see?
Yeah.
On the other end of this, if you weren't sitting here and didn't see that, you wouldn't know where that idea came from.
Nope.
Bilko op bichai. Bilko pi jai bana. Dude key. What does that mean?
Yeah.
God has a sense of humor. Just look at the duck-billed platypus. You mean nature's most natural stand-up comic?
What about like aardvarks? You know, like what do they really do?
Is that the same as an anteater? Or is that different?
No, I think it's different.
No, I was thinking of an armadillo. And I think aardvark is the same as anteater. I think aardvarks are the same as anteaters.
That.
All right, let's Google it. Are aardvarks the same as anteaters?
Because aardvark is my like animal spirit thing, according to spirit animal astrology. So let's look this up. I need to know.
It's the most Alcoholics Anonymous of all animals. All right. Aardvarks the same as anteaters? They're both insectivores, but they differ in many ways. There are 4 anteater species and only 1 aardvark species.
Oh, so they're cousins?
Well, anteaters live in the forests of Central and South America, while aardvarks live in the forests and grasslands of Sub-Saharan Africa. Which one's an aardvark? Let's see.
Oh, aardvarks are cuter.
This is an anteater.
No.
Oh, that's an aardvark?
Yeah, that's an aardvark. See?
Aardvark. Anteaters have...
Yeah, aardvarks are cuter.
Okay, well, I think this is an anteater.
That's an anteater.
This is an aardvark.
Yep.
This is an aardvarks look like little...
kangaroos. What? I love that.
That's great.
He looks like he's a rapping aardvark.
Yeah, he looks like a rapping aardvark, I agree. Like, they're marsupials.
Oh, so that's why they look like a kangaroo.
Armadillos
they're all related.
Oh, armadillos are related.
Yeah.
Anteaters, aardvarks, and armadillos.
That's so cute. Oh my.
That's the 3 animal spirits of the Automobile Association of America.
Wow.
Eric, what do you consider intuitive thought to be? Well, I mean, there's different kinds of intuition. There's knowing what to conclude from a bunch of clues. That's the regular kind of intuition that like Sherlock Holmes uses. That's the kind that INFJs have, INTJs. They are knowing intuitors. The kind of intuition I have is less about knowing what something is and more about making something out of what you got there. So I tend to generate a lot of ideas. Some of them are more intuitively successful than others. Sometimes, one of my biggest problems is, I think it's fair to say, I've said a lot of very insightful things over the course of a lot of live streams. Very insightful clips of Eric saying a lot in a fairly short period of time that if strung together or organized properly or something, or compiled into videos that people want to watch, of links that people want to watch, that they probably put together some fairly successful videos. But if it's just a few insights that are lost amongst hours of live stream and amongst a lot of joking around, and then maybe a few bad ideas too, well, it makes it, you gotta factor in the reality of you're dealing with other human beings who have a limited amount of attention, and they're not going to value what you produce based on what valuable thing it might have in it, but rather on whether it's easily consumable and lots of other things, and whether it's attentive to the consumer's needs and wants. It's like if people are wanting to watch a video about a given subject, they want something that's fairly short, fairly straightforward, simple. It teaches them something new, but not too much new at once, and does so in a breezy and pleasant fashion. I can make those videos occasionally, and even if those videos are successful, I'm still suffering from the same problem. Those bits of goodness get lost amongst a bunch of other videos, right?
Yeah. That's why I suggest people when I answer Eric's emails to check his playlists, because that's the best way.
Would that be observation versus creativity? I mean, the thing is, I am creative in my observations in the sense that I make meaning about that which I observe. Why don't you just edit your vids more? Well, you missed the point there, Supwalk. I do. I've got plenty of very tightly edited videos out there that are very good videos and short and attentive and on point. The problem is, I want to do too much stuff. I like to do this. I like to have this conversation with you. I like to be here chatting with my friends on the internet.
Yeah, me too.
And so,
like both of them,
that takes a lot of time. Or the other thing is, I've got other projects I have to do. So you'll see NI will come out sometimes in ways that show that I can be extremely attentive to NI detail, as per this new song, Siddhartha Today, where I've been extremely, extremely laboriously attentive to every single detail on it. It's 1 minute and 38 seconds long, but it's as perfect as I can make it. Now, does that make it perfect? No, but it makes it vastly, vastly more perfect than just about anybody else can do, with some exceptions. There are plenty of people who can, but the vast majority of normal people certainly cannot do anything as well.
Hey, Matthew, there.
It makes it better than hundreds of other things that I've done in terms of attention to detail anyway. And the thing is, it doesn't matter if it gets lost in a big pile of stuff, but I'm not going to constrain myself from making stuff I want to make either. Problem is, I have too many. It's not that I'm not doing any one thing well, or that I need to change any one thing. Rather, it's that I'm doing too many different things and can't constrain myself. Siddhartha Today, Siddhartha side. What's impossible do? What's Siddhartha try? Siddhartha sit down, Siddhartha's tree. In that moment he really some mysteries he did not relate. Siddhartha's mind. What will come to Siddhartha? Not when he tried to watch what he makes. Siddhartha seems to a company is greatest waking dreams. Siddhartha was royal at this life. Siddhartha the royal had it right. Siddhartha recoiled at the sight What would I say? Siddhartha, I. It's impossible to watch Siddhartha try. Siddhartha, sit down. Siddhartha, please. Won't you just go through your senses? Will you retrieve your functional gait? Look by your pride. Irresponsible now that your hands are tied. Siddhartha was royal. Not this life. Siddhartha the royal. Had it right. Siddhartha recoiled. At the sight. Siddhartha Siddhartha. So self-walk. Lesson number 1. Don't add more shit to the NI. Okay? No lickies over that. Leave it be what it is. Lesson number 1 in NE aesthetics is to constrain yourself. What's a raw room beef? I don't have any beef with it.
I was wondering what was going on.
I don't know what he's talking about. What do INFJs want? They just want the world to get together and have a Coke.
What do I, at my core, what do I want? I want everyone to be happy.
Why do I value it so much?
Do.
Well,
I want people to be themselves and not lie.
No. I'm telling you you can't improvise. I'm telling you that when you attain your maximal greatness, you will, whatever the origin of the idea, you will manifest the idea as it's meant to be. Look, it may take years and years and years. I mean, walk. The thing is, that's a very particularist, experientially based understanding of things. If you're talking about making good art, it's different than having a fun experience. I agree, it's fun noodling around on the guitar. Nothing could be more fun. But if you're talking about making good art, that's a different question. And that's where it's time to be an adult. That's what means being an adult. Being an adult means not engaging or indulging in so much any nonsense, and letting something be itself. First of all, that's not a song I wrote. That's a cover, okay? So I really wanted to try to make it as pure as I could. But what raw room issues? Are there issues in the raw room? I'm saying that, look, I've got hundreds and hundreds of songs up. And after a long time, I've learned that my biggest problem is too many words, too many notes, not allowing something to be what it's supposed to be, trying to make it different all the time. I've got this constant validation of novelty and uniqueness. I mean, remember, Subwalk, you're talking about true art and freedom through mastery and stuff, but I've put in decades of working on this.
Yeah.
I put in as much time working on this as you've been alive.
Yeah, like my videos look like his starting videos, but years ago.
I'm not talking about the video making. I'm talking about the ideation and the music. Okay, so in terms of the ideas that I present, well, I know, then you should. You should just go and run with it. That's fine. What I'm saying is eventually you're gonna realize that people don't like random any stuff. You got to constrain it and turn it into something meaningful. That pieces of music, songs, are entities in and of themselves, external to the person who makes them. You have to let go of yourself as a art producing thing and try to make what's supposed to be happen. Now, you have to also add a little spice to it. So you can't just do NI, or else you end up doing like, I would say an example of somebody who's a little too NI would be Lenny Kravitz. A little bit too NI. His songs are universal kind of, but they don't really do enough to make them have any kind of lasting timelessness, you know?
I never really liked Lenny Kravitz.
So you've got to have exactly
He looks like you.
The combination of mostly NI, and the way to do that is you start by going, the first lesson to learn aesthetically is if it sounds like something you've heard before, but you can't say what that is, there's nothing you can think of that you've heard before that actually is that, but it sounds like something you've heard before, keep that, don't throw that away. That's a sign that it's good. Any noms will throw those pieces of good intuition away. I got helped by an INFJ who wrote that song that I just played to learn about introverted intuition and applying it more in my art, much to my benefit. And I've been trying to do so ever since. I've gotten pretty good at it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have.
But it's still hit and miss. Some of my shit's kind of just, still hit and miss.
I like your hits. And I like your misses. The misses are the...
You're my misses.
Aw,
you're my Mrs. Eric Strauss. Play more blues. Okay. I have a blues song here.
Oh my gosh.
Let me play some blues right now.
No, please don't let it be. Please don't let it be. What's her name?
No, it's a blues song by me.
Okay, good.
It's called...
I couldn't take Joni Mitchell right now.
No. It's an actual blues song that I wrote. I can remember what it's called. Blues. I think it's got the blues, maybe. A Land We Stole My Wife.
Aww.
That's what it's called. The blues.
See, it's good.
I got the blues. No leather on my shoes. Never know what to do. I got the blues. These are nights, rides around my girl, the laugh of my house, scout of my car, gets crashed, open out. I got the blues. Darling, good child, woman, baby, sweet child, darling, girl, all night long, I got the blues. I'm out of candy, got no wife, my different land, we stole my wife, my well's been poisoned because I'm dry, and eventually I'm sure to die. Won't you let me cry, 'cause I got the blues. What would you have if you were I? You got the blues.
I've got the blues too.
Don't care for no other shoes, 'cause I got the blues. There's a blues song I made up.
That is. That's a good song.
Thanks.
You're welcome. That's the first time I ever heard that.
Really?
Yep.
So horribly badly mastered. I look at it, you see the waveform.
Mastered.
See the waveform, and I'm just like, you did nothing back then about what you were doing at all.
Yeah, but at least you continue to do it, because ENTPs don't always follow through on their creative stuff, unfortunately. It's like, I think they're some of the most creative people, actually, like, creative geniuses, too.
Pretty rocky.
It is.
Are you saying it's not really the blues, that it's rock? Well, you know why so rock? You know why so walk? Why do you think it might be? And it might be a little rocky. Could it possibly be because I, host Eric, am in fact the god of rock?
Oh my god. Here it comes.
Rock. That's right. It's because I'm the god of rock.
Show me how to be so hard. Circa 19, play for God of rock. You are so hard, I don't know what about. Listening to that jolly country show. When I turn on you,
That's right.
God of rock.
Oh, yeah.
After all your talking, talk to the very rockiness. I rock, I roll. Roll your pancakes on my choco. Rock your uncle up to my twine. Oh, rock those pancakes for your lunch. And I'll roll up in front of you in line. I'm a guy to rock, like a rocket, like a rocket, block. Separate the Lord to rock like I know. So if you who do rock, I know that you do not rock. So I just rock it every night. After all your talking, talk to the very rockiness. I rock, I roll all night. I rock all day. Forget yourself like every day. Have your brush, all in the rock. I rock and roll, blow your mind.
There. Has my rock and roll blown your mind now? Where's the shred? I don't shred. No, I don't include unnecessary
Don't worry.
meows.
The more guitar I learn, I feel like I'll be able to shred it.
Oh, you're gonna shred? Okay, good.
Yeah. Don't you want to teach me electric guitar? I think I'll actually be able to do it.
You know, Subwalk, or perhaps my most shredding song of all is the song that really proclaims what I want you to think about yourself.
Yes.
As well, okay? So this one right here.
It reminds me about myself too.
I've just been sad. I gave up long
We should
ago.
all sing around to
Was
this.
sometimes mad,
And
but
say, hey,
bad was all I'd
life's
ever
fine.
known. Since sad was
Life's
all
good,
I'd
'cause
been,
I used to
I'd
be
only
sad.
mope and pout.
But then I learned
Till I met a man named
Oh.
Ken who showed me how to whisper shout. I'm rich, I'm the best, I'm the greatest, I'm the greatest, I'm the best, I'm rich, I'm the best, I'm the greatest, I'm the greatest, I'm the best. I've just been sad.
every
I
morning,
gave up
you
long
sing this
ago.
song to yourself. You
Was
realize
sometimes
it's
mad,
okay.
but that was all I'd ever known. Since that was all
I would love
I'd
to.
only mope and pout. Till
I would love to play something on the guitar. Unfortunately, my guitar is currently out of commission because I have a no low E string on it, and I broke the little peg that goes in there. So I can't play the guitar right now because I
It's out of commission.
that's the real blues. You're right. That is real.
That is the
blues.
real blues.
It's out of commission right
It
now.
is.
So I gotta fix it. So I need to get a piece of wood that goes from a thin bit to a fat bit to jam in there. You know. I guess you call it a what do you call that shape? It's like a funnel shape, kind of. You know.
Like one of those pegs from like Cracker Barrel.
A peg from Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, you know the game that they have, the triangle game?
Oh yeah, like one of those. Right. Eric sounds like a straight, gruff black man in the chorus. That's not me in the chorus. That's Ken. I'm not singing that chorus.
You're not?
No, that's Ken singing the chorus.
Wow.
And it says in the song, a man named Ken showed me how to whisper shout, and then Ken whisper shouts. He goes, that's Ken. That's Ken Collins
I
going,
totally thought it was you.
no, that's not me. That's not me. That's a sample from hanging out in the raw room when Ken was making fun of Kato. Kato was basically being an ESFP and going around and going like, oh, I'm so good. I can get any chick I want. I'm the best. And Ken's like, man, I can picture Kato in like 10 years with his Mercedes limousine standing on top of some hill with a summer himself going, I'm rich. I'm the best. I'm the greatest. And I was putting audio underneath, like background music, like that loop there, that background music underneath some clips of live stream, or not live streams, but of Raw Room interactions. And that happened to line up with the music. And I was like, oh, I gotta make a song out of
No
this.
fucking way.
Yeah, that's how that came about. I was
Wow.
just putting a background music under funny bits of the Raw Room hangout, and it fit so perfectly with the music just incidentally that I was like, okay, I've got to make a song out of this.
It's
it's
so
hilarious,
great.
you know.
Wow. I really thought that was you.
Yeah, that's just a sample from a Raw Room movie.
That's even better.
Yeah. So
I love it when stuff comes together like that.
yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like that's
Imagine.
NI. Now that is NI. When you're listening to a whole bunch of shit,
Mhm.
I wasn't listening for something to make a song out of. I was just listening to the clips I had over the background music I had underneath it, and something pops out and goes, here I am. That's where my NI's gotten pretty good.
Yeah.
I can recognize those things and say, okay, this thing is special. I should do something with it.
Can I have a sip of that?
Yeah.
I'm always.
I went in and chatted with my dad, by the way. Well, yeah, because I came in and told that story. But
That's good. I've never had this before.
I'm gonna get a couple more of these things.
I've just been sad. I gave up long ago. Was sometimes mad, but bad was alright. ESTJs intimidate me. They intimidate me. Because I feel like I do everything the way that they wouldn't do it. But my conversations with like Eric's dad is like great. Eric's dad is like so different from ESTJs that I know from like.
But listen to me, guys. All you had to do was listen to the lyrics. It was clearly the blues. It says, I got the blues.
It does.
My best friend Landry stole my bike.
Yeah.
I mean,
That was a blues song.
I crashed my woman, lost my car.
Yeah, that's pretty bluesy. And you don't have to say, I got the blues for it to be blues.
But I did, though.
You did, actually.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, shizzle.
I even said at the end,
covered all the bases.
it says specifically, I don't need no other hues. Because I've got the blues. Okay, that's as blues as you get.
I want you to know, babe, I was talking to Kyra before about like getting together again.
Mm-hmm.
And she was thinking Friday. It's the day before 4th of July. Would you like to do that with me?
The 3rd of July.
The 3rd of July.
Sure.
Cool.
What's for dinner? We had tacos. I was thinking on the way in here, things ENTPs can learn from ISTJs. Let me give you an example of something.
Oh shit.
Uh-oh, did I
That was
pull,
my bad.
did I
That's
pull
no.
Rachel?
Yeah, you did, but we saved it. We
Okay.
saved it.
That's fine. I pulled
Sink
it.
a ship, crisis averted. Crash your woman, lost your car.
Yeah,
Exactly, that's the blues.
Okay, so what was I saying? Was something? Oh yeah, right. Things EHPs can learn from ISTJs. So
Oh
when
yeah.
when we went to the taco stand, I didn't think Rachel was getting enough tacos. And I thought about getting a couple of extra tacos. But the thing is, the EHP strategy to this is to say to the person, I don't think you're getting enough tacos. Well, Rachel and I were being a little bit like, yeah, at each other.
I knew
at that
what I
moment.
wanted.
She didn't want any advice from me or anything. And I was like, I don't think she knows exactly how small these tacos are.
I do though.
Okay, but you ate one of mine too, though.
I ended up. But I'm telling you, I know what those tacos are like, and I always get two.
Okay.
Because I like to eat.
Okay, baby. Okay. I'm just saying
I know.
An ISTJ, an EHP can learn from an ISTJ. An ISTJ will not try to talk to the other person about it. They won't say, are you sure? They'll just get an extra taco for the person.
But you did.
They shorted us a taco. So I did get one more taco that we didn't end up getting.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why they shorted us a taco.
I think they were busy, so they were nervous because I was standing there. Because I've had that.
Everybody was, though.
Yeah, there was a line. It was a big line, big line.
After we had waited a long time, we were number 21. Okay, after we had waited a long time, I finally walked up to the window. After several people had gone up there already, and I listened, and they were on 15, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" And I was like, "Quinceañera." This isn't like quintorces, or I forget what was the word for 15. It was something like quinceans. It's like 15 in Spanish. It said quince in it. So maybe it was quince.
Yeah.
I was able to identify it as 15 because it had quince in it, and I know the word quinceañera, you know? So I was just like, oh, they're on 15? Fuck. And yeah, sure enough, they were. It was 16. And we were already 21. It was like a few minutes between each one. It was like, wow, this is taking a long time. I was
so
de-arming. To the 4 with a flat 9, to that national 9. Subwalk, I don't know any music theory, okay? So none of that stuff is gonna work for me. I don't think about music like that. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you're Bobby Fischer or something IAG last. You wouldn't if you think that, you wouldn't believe how good Super Grand Masters are, Sky Gear. Is IAG last good at chess or what? IAG last is good at chess. Good at chess, or what? Is he good at chess? If you played him at chess, then did he beat you at chess? And that's why you think that he's good at chess. You want to chat about it? Teach me what? Chess? You gonna teach me how to play chess? You ever see Punch Drunk Love? I don't think so.
I have. It's overrated.
I can't cheat the damn link restriction. Just add a .org after the lichest.
I'd say he probably isn't. I don't know. I don't know about Punch Drunk Love. I'm not sure. If he's an ISTJ, he could be playing an ISTJ.
Oh, I don't like music theory. Like I know basics of it. I can obviously like I've been playing music and writing music and recording music and playing in bands and stuff since my early 20s.
Yeah.
So
this isn't his first rodeo.
I have I took theory in college. I took music theory 1. I know basic theory, but I disagree with you, Kyra. I don't think it helps. It doesn't help me really at all. I mean, the kind of theory
everyone learns differently.
This is the kind of theory that helps me. It's not music theory at all. It's things like knowing how many milliseconds is the timing for 130 BPM, things like that. That stuff's helpful. Everything else, I use my ears and my intuition, and my fingers.
Yeah, you're very talented.
Thanks, darling.
You're welcome. Okay, have a good dinner.
I mean, the thing is, in theory, I could read music. It would just take me a super long time. Like, if I want to read a piano piece, and my life depended on it, I could piece it together. I could like figure, okay, well, let's see, this note this note's this. There's a sharp here, so it's in this key, so I should put it like this. Okay, this is the major chords in that key. This is the minor. I could piece it all together, you know. But I just, it's like my music making and playing and recording cannot be constrained by the speed of my music theory thinking. It's much slower, and it's not pointless. It doesn't tell me anything. I'll get to what I'm trying to find faster by knowing what I want it to sound like and play. You know, is it meow? 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 Oh, it's meow. I get there faster than trying to figure it out theory wise. So it's like it's just not useful for me.
The kitty between two pillows. I like to think that my butt is the perfect size for her. I'm sorry, Pee-Pee. I like talking about you. You're cute.
Music theory for me is like pitching strategy for a knuckleball thrower. Pitching strategy goes right out the window when you throw knuckleballs. And I'm very much like a knuckleball thrower. Sometimes I throw perfect game with my knuckleball. Nobody can hit it. And everyone's like, oh, wow, that was amazing. Sometimes I get fucking shelled. You know, like they hit 10 home runs off of me. That's how it is with me. This is how I make art. I'm like a knuckleballer. All of your ideas about how pitching strategy should be used go right out the window because my approach is the knuckleballer approach. So your things don't apply to me.
I have a question. Do you think a knuckleball pitcher would be good as a
fister?
A backup. No, what do they call them? I used to know so well because I'm a baseball freak, but a relief.
Oh. Usually they're not brought in as relief pitchers. They're the sort of pitchers that are starting pitchers for a couple of reasons. One, you figure, you know, if it takes them an inning to sort of find their knuckle, or the thing's not knuckling or whatever, and they give up a run or two early, then you can come back on. You can pull him early and go, okay, he doesn't have his knuckle today. But if his knuckle's on, you can ride him all game long.
Yeah.
You have no worry about tiring them out. They can pitch 150 pitches, no problem.
Yeah.
It doesn't really hurt their arm.
Yeah, that's I can visually picture so many games where like the coach will talk to the pitcher and be like, "You're right, yeah," and then like the pitcher will be like, "Yeah, I'm okay. I'm gonna go through it."
And then, like, you know, the other pitch the knuckler has is occasionally he'll throw a ridiculous changeup, which is like doesn't even make any sense. Like a changeup is supposed to work because you go from a fastball to a changeup, right? But if you throw a knuckleball and you don't really have a fastball, then you throw a knuckleball and a changeup, and your changeup feels like a fastball to the person who's used to trying to swing a knuckleball, and they're all bamboozled.
That's pretty key in baseball. It's a nice picture to have. Then when you said knuckleball, I don't know if this is correct, but David Cohn came to my mind. Like I feel like he was.
I don't think he was a knuckler. Yeah, Phil Necro is one of the famous knuckleball pitchers, or Tom Kendall something.
Okay.
Let me see. Famous knuckleball pitchers. Let's Google it.
Yeah. I really don't know.
Famous.
Maybe it was El Duque.
Knuckleball pitchers.
Or Musina?
List of knuckleball pitchers. Tim Wakefield. That was a famous one.
Oh, Tim Wakefield.
Phil Necro and Joe Necro. Who invented the knuckleball? The inventor of the knuckleball has
Oh.
never been established, although several pitchers from the early 20th century have been credited.
Wow.
Nap Rucker of the Brooklyn Dodgers came up to the majors in 1907, initially throwing hard stuff, but later switching to the knuckleball. A 1908 article credited Lou Marin as the inventor of the pitch. Ed Sacote earned a full-time spot with the Detroit Tigers in 1908, earning the nickname Knuckles for his signature pitch. A picture of Ed Summers showed him gripping what he called a dry spitter, using a variation of the knuckleball grip using the knuckles of his index and middle fingers. Unlike almost every other pitch in baseball, the knuckleball's erratic trajectory has often required teams to use dedicated catchers, often using specialized mitts to field the deliveries. Clint Courtney used a specially constructed catcher's mitt to catch knuckleballer Hoyt Wilhelm during a game in 1960. The lower velocity of the knuckleball is credited with giving some who use it the ability to pitch more often, staying pitching careers far longer than those who rely on the fastball. Tim Wakefield pitched on consecutive days when most starting pitchers have only at least 4 days of rest.
Wow.
Phil Niekro used the pitch until he was 48.
Wow.
He was almost my age when he retired.
Wow. That's incredible. Phil Niekro.
R.A. Dickey.
R.A. Dickey, I know that name.
In 2012, R.A. Dickey became the only knuckleballer to have won
He used to
the
be
Cy
in the
Young
Mets.
Award. Robert Allen Dickey.
Oh.
Um,
Was he? I know that. Yeah, he was on the Mets.
After limited success as a conventional starting pitcher, he learned to throw the knuckleball.
He won the Cy Young that year for the Mets, and they fucking choked. As usual.
20-6 record with 230 strikeouts with a knuckleball. Wow.
Yeah, man.
That's great.
Yeah,
He really killed it with a knuckler, huh?
Yeah, R.A. Dickey.
Throughout his career, Dickey did not know that his forkball pitch was actually a hard knuckleball, but by 2005, Dickey had realized the best way to extend his career was to perfect the pitch. The Rangers gave him a chance in 2006 to try out his knuckleball at the major league level by naming him the fifth starter. After giving up 6 home runs in his first start, he was demoted. In 2010, he signed with the Mets, and he went to AAA at first. But while playing for the Bisons, Dickey threw a one-hitter on April 29th to give up a single to the first batter, then retired the next 27 in a row.
I saw a game where he pitched.
On May 19th, 2010, yes.
He's the guy who came out to the Game of Thrones theme when he got up to bat. I could never remember his name. R.A. Dickey. Not only was he a knuckleballer who won Cy Young, but he was a Game of Thrones fan too. I knew I liked him.
Dickey's performance in the first half of 2012 drew comparisons to some of the most dominant pitching streaks of the last 50 years. Mets manager Terry Collins remarked, "I've never seen anything like this. Never. I've seen some dominance of the pitching, but nothing like what he's going through right now." Hall of Fame pitcher and fellow knuckleballer Phil Niekro commented, "I had a few streaks, but nothing like he's going through. I don't know if any other knuckleballer has ever had a bit on a hot streak like he has. He's just dynamite right now." He recorded double-digit strikeouts in back-to-back games in May, becoming the first Mets pitcher to do so since Pedro Martinez. Over 2 games, he allowed 1 run in 14 and a third innings for a 0.63 ERA.
Oh my God.
In his next 2 starts, he allowed no runs in 16 and a third innings. He was the first pitcher to reach 10 wins in 2012. He had a complete game 1-hit shutout against the Orioles in the next start. And he had 2 complete game 1 hitters with 12 or more strikeouts in 1 season. And did it in back-to-back starts. Wow. He threw 2 consecutive one-hitters. That's a hot streak. During the streak, Dickey set a new Mets franchise record of 32 2/3 consecutive scoreless innings. Wow.
Wow. Wow.
That's quite a bit.
Oh my God. Yeah, it is.
Congratulations for him being the first knuckleballer in history to win the Cy Young Award.
I know, like, I want like a, can we like,
High five.
yeah.
Good job, knuckleballer.
Yeah, good job, Ari Dickey. I knew I liked you. Like, I just knew, you know, like, when you get like a vibe of a person, he came up to the mound too, and it was just like, I've never been to a Mets game where everyone was happy. I've usually been at games because people who were there for other reasons. But like that game, I felt like I do feel like I'm a blessed person, and that was a blessed moment. Like, they won that game. He played it fucking awesome. He hit. So, like, I think he hit like a home run that game. It was just like total magic all over. And I'm not a Mets fan. And I had like Ari Dickey was very impressive.
Wow. That's fun.
Yeah.
Fun little baseball jaunt.
Yeah. Thank you for looking that up for me. I really thank you.
Sure, of course. All right, I think it's about time to wrap this up. It's been 2 hours, shall we?
Yeah.
All right, thanks a lot for being here, everybody. Don't forget to keep playing cheese.